All right. Welcome, welcome. We should be live now. I just need to check the audio levels. I'm coming in a second with the stream delay. It is loading. Hold on. Okay, I'm trying to test. And someone type in chat if they can hear me okay, if it's too quiet or too loud or anything. I think. Oh, I'm. Yeah, okay. I think that's okay. If there's any issues with the audio, just type it in the YouTube chat or the Discord chat. But I'll just take this out now. And I believe my camera's set up. Yes, it is. Sweet. Just gonna do a quick little test here to make sure screen switching is working. Stream's bitrate is low. Give me a warning. Complaint. It'll be okay. Hopefully it's okay. All right, so I'm gonna run this little test here. Will that work? I believe that screen switching should be fine. Yes, it does work. Okay. Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. If you are in the YouTube chat, but you're not in the Discord, please join up in the Discord. And if you're not in the actually even joined our Discord, then just ask in the chat. We'll send a link. But if you are, then please join a CNC table voice chat. So if you scroll down on the left of the Discord, go down on the left, you'll see CNC tables, and Luke is currently sitting in one. So good job, Luke. But everyone just join up in one of them, one of the three there. It'll be where that will be where all the work is happening. And the first activity, you need to be working with other people. So you have to join that. All right. Let us get started. 5 minutes late, I'm sorry. Okay, well, welcome. This is the, actually, hold on, let's go back. This is the UW Coffin Code GitHub workshop where we're going to be participating in Hacktoberfest. More about that later. But if you have never been here before, this is a quick little spiel on who we are. So what is Coffee and Code? Well, Coffee and Code now is all online. So we've taken this kind of community all about coding, learning, and just having a good time sharing ideas. And we've taken it online to this Discord where we want to help people learn about code, support people who are new to coding, or do you want like kind of direction, help people connect with others to create some friends, and then have fun during the process. And this term we meet weekly on the Discord at 7 p.m. And we also run the occasional workshop like today. The next one will be, in the middle of November, I think, and it's gonna be on game development. So keep an eye out for that. A little bit about myself. So if you haven't seen me yet, that means it's probably your first workshop because I am the workshop person. My name is Robert. I'm a fourth year system design engineering student, and I love to code. And I specifically, love to code games. So this is some of the stuff I've worked on. I just made a big collage of all this garbage. But like make some games, made up a couple other things during co-op and stuff. And I just have a lot of fun times making lots of software things. All right, so what is this schedule? I'm gonna start with what is open source software, because that is gonna be the core of what GitHub, and Hacktoberfest are all about. That's the one thing, like linking everything together. And we're gonna do a quick group activity because you guys warmed up and thinking about open source and that kind of stuff. Then we're gonna move into, okay, like what is actually Git and GitHub? You hear these words a lot, but what do they mean? And then we're going to talk about what's a pull request, and then how to actually contribute, to our open source website. And that's going to be the main activity of today, is contributing to this website, and with a stretch goal, contributing to a real open source project, because this one is not exactly real. So we'll give that a shot. And if you have any questions along the way, or if the stream is crappy or am I missing something, please just tell me in the chat, or you can do it on YouTube and you can also do it on the Discord. Either one is okay. Okay, continuing on. So for the background, what is open source software? So this idea of open source is very, very popular, and especially in software, because it allows for greater collaboration and it's just generally a better way to approach things. So what it actually is this code that is free to view and modify, share, and use between all users. And it's not, generally, there isn't like one centralized person that makes all the changes or one centralized organization. Rather, open source projects are made via collaboration and contributions from individual users or even like companies, but they all come together and to make a cool product. And not all open source projects are messy and buggy. So you might think like, a bunch of people working on one thing, they're all like all over the world, different, interests and whatnot. It makes something that's a bit incoherent, but that is not the case. Lots of open source projects are very high quality. There's no examples. Some examples, the Linux operating system is open source, and there's like a bunch of software if you use VLC Media Player, or there's like a video or image editing called GIMP, and there's tons of it nowadays. Okay, so what does the Discord look like? Well, this will be interesting. I believe, okay, if you are in the YouTube live stream, but you are not in a Discord voice channel, please join a Discord voice channel. It will be required for the workshop. It'll make things a lot better. So I encourage you to join. Just join one of the CNC tables. I'll give everyone a second. I will type that in the chat as well. Please join a CNC table. So my keyboard is very loud in the Discord. Wait a second for that to propagate through. Believe everything is okay there. Okay. Well, if that is not the case, then I will have to. Oh, I see some people joining. Okay. If there's only a couple people here at the workshop, that's totally cool. We'll just, have a fun time, just us basically. So that's no big deal. But yeah, there we go. There's some people joining. Okay. I mean, minimum we really need is like 3. So this is perfect. Yeah, awesome. And okay, table 1's full. So if you go to table 2, please join that one. And if there's only like one person in table 2, just people from table 1 go to table 2. But I think it's okay right now. Okay. So you guys will get a chance to talk amongst each other to do introductions. And that will be via this little activity. So if you're at the last workshop, you're familiar with how I run things. I want you guys to talk to each other, get to know each other a little bit. And because, online term, this is important. So how we're going to do that is I want you guys to build the perfect robot servant, because the University of Waterloo has tasked you to do it. We need, everyone's getting all lazy, so we need to build, more innovation. We need to be beyond disruption. We need to make robot servants to kind of do all of our biddings and what have you. However, they have one feature that they've requested, and it's very, very important. And it is it has to be able to remove geese from campus. So Waterloo campus is there's geese everywhere, and the university wants a robot that can remove the geese, but also it needs to be do a bunch of other features. So other features are up to you, but you need to have a couple features, one of them being the geese removing feature. So the key point here is this is going to be an open source robot, which means everyone needs to contribute to it. And I'm going to put a restriction on it so that it's not just one person making the whole thing. Each person can only add one feature. Now, I didn't actually write this here. You need to draw the robot. This isn't a list of features. I know people are into software, but I want to see your drawing skills here. And I'll be drawing with a mouse, so it'll be a lot of fun. Okay, so each person has to draw one feature on this robot. And how you're going to draw is using this whiteboard that I'm going to share here. So let me just switch over to this screen. Boom. This is an app. I will paste the link in the table 1 chat. Draw your robot here. And remember, oops, I gotta do this one. That's the goal. I'm gonna give you about 8 minutes. Build a perfect servant robot. You must be able to remove geese from campus, and each person can only work on one of the features. All right. Good luck, and see you in a couple minutes. Well, I'll probably come and join the Discord and say hi, maybe contribute. But yeah, have fun. I'll set a timer. Okay, time is up. I mean, you feel free to keep drawing. Want to make it better? I'll type in chat time. Okay, awesome. So now we're gonna do a little show and tell here if you want. If you don't want to do show and tell, you don't have to. I am going to join the one-on-one help voice channel here. You'll see me in there beforehand, and I'm going to go to the drawings. Oh, it's spoilers. No. There we go. This one. Okay. If you would, anyone from the table group 1 would like to explain what they did, please join the Discord voice channel, switch over to this channel, and then make sure you mute the stream just so there's no echo. So mute the stream and then come over here because I'd like to hear explanation. If you don't want to explain it because you're on live on a stream, you don't have to. I will do my best to deduce what you have drawn. So I'll give you 7 seconds-ish to figure out if you want to come over here because there's a bit of stream lag and whatnot. I'll check the chat meantime. Okay, we're good. Okay, I assume everyone at table 1 feels like their drawing skills are good enough that it needs no explanation. So to recap, the problem was to you got to build a robot as the task. Build a robot that's a servant that also gets rid of geese on campus. And it's because Waterloo loves innovation. So I see a couple of things going on here. There's most definitely a robot here, and it has quite a few features. I can't necessarily deduce anything outside of this cool looking trident here, which I would imagine could be used to spear some geese, which is a little gruesome, and that's one way to get them off the campus. This is something I added as an open source addition to this robot, is I added a toaster, because, you know, if you have a servant robot, who doesn't love toast? I see a cage over here. I'm not sure how that integrates with the robot, so that may be something to consider. I am concerned about this squiggly down here. Oh, it's food. That is one way to draw food, so I would agree that there's food to trap the geese. We have a mini zoo. I see the drawing, that's pretty complicated, but so you supposed to stay with the minimal word representation, or maybe this is the mini zoo and it's just like minimal zoo. Very, very smart. And then we have a geese and a barbecue. So that is a geese. Okay. Well, that same thing with the cage. I think that might be a little better if it's integrated into the robot. I'm not sure. This isn't also necessarily get the geese off the campus. You're just cooking a goose. So we'll give a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. I think we need more integration here, but that's okay. All right, going next. Anyone from table 2 wants to join in this chat? Sorry, I just saw it for the first time. Perfect. Oh, let me
explain a little bit.
Yeah, there we
go. So here, this was a speedrun drawing. So this is a real speedrun drawing. So this robot basically causes hectic and havoc around campus. Basically, it screams to scare away the geese, but it places cages down so they get scared into the geese. It also has a water gun filled with jarate that it sprays the geese with. Geese don't like jarate. It's a TF2 reference if you get that.
Okay. Is that a cat?
What's a cat?
Where the jarate is coming out of.
It could be a cat. I don't know. That it was a water gun. It's supposed to be a water gun.
Oh.
But yeah, filled with jarate. But yeah, then jarate is like a organic compound, so like it doesn't harm any of the environment or the geese.
Oh,
but the geese just don't like it. It's like water to cats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they get scared into the cages where they have nowhere to go, and then we box them up and yeet them across the city. And also, the cages are biodisposable, so don't worry. They after a while, it'll release by itself.
Okay, incredible.
Yeah.
I might have to invest later, so keep me in the loop on that one.
Beyond ideas.
Yep.
Trust me. Only at Waterloo.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to head back over. Fantastic. Well, that was some interesting robots. We're going to head back over to the presentation here. Okay, well, thank you for doing that little activity. Hope you're all kind of warmed up now. We're going to get into the real deal now. So clearly that wasn't, Git or GitHub. but it was open source. And if you noticed when you were working on it, if maybe this wasn't followed as strictly as we wanted it to be, but each person was only supposed to work on one feature. And it's difficult to mix things together. If one person makes the cage and another person draws the whole robot, how do you add that feature? And open source projects have the same kind of problems. It's when you have all these different people working on the same idea, you're trying to get to the same goal, like this robot, but it's difficult to mix your stuff together. It's a challenging process, and so thankfully, people have developed tools to do that. And specifically, one person developed Git, and it was Linus. What's his last name? It starts with a T. I don't know how to pronounce it properly. The guy who made Linux, he made Git, and it's open source. So if we're talking about open source software, this is an example of an open source project, which is very high quality and very successful. So just to be clear, Git, Git, is not a GitHub. We'll talk about GitHub in a second. Git is a version control system, and that means it lets you save and track different versions of your work. Even it doesn't have to be coding related. It just allows you to track changes. So if you ever worked on Google Docs before and you've gone to like the history, it's exactly like that, but for any file, because it tracks the actual file data. And if you know how a computer works, files stored, I mean, if you really break it down as a bunch of zeros and ones, and it doesn't matter if it's a coding file or your like image file or your essay you're writing, it all breaks down to zeros and ones. And this system tracks that just like Google Docs. So it's really useful for projects with multiple contributors because you can keep track of who's working on what, and no one has to worry about things getting accidentally destroyed. So for example, if you're working on your robot and someone comes in and drags a toaster into the middle of your robot and you're like, that's not great, I don't like that, you can undo it really easily. In the case of our drawing thing, it might be pretty difficult to take out the toaster. That's why we use Git. Okay, now GitHub, completely different. Okay, not completely different, but it's different. This is a website, or specifically a web-based hosting service that uses Git while also adding extra features. So Git is software you install on your computer or any computer, and it helps you manage changes. GitHub is a website where you could host projects. You can actually upload files. It's just like Google Drive. Again, Google Drive is kind of taking stuff from this. You could upload files, and then built into the GitHub website is all the version control stuff. It's useful for having Git projects that you want to share across the internet and collaborate with people. So GitHub uses Git to do web-based collaboration. Okay, yes, key takeaways. Git and GitHub are related, but not the same thing. Tonight, you don't actually need to use Git for the activities, and you can complete everything just using GitHub. You will be technically using Git, but you don't have to install it on your computer and use any terminal or command line stuff. Okay, so please, to do this activity, you will need a GitHub account. So please sign up. Just go to github.com and make an account. Sorry, I know accounts are a pain in the butt to make, but it is a requirement. Okay, so whoops, too far. Please make an account, and then come back, and I will keep going. Hope you're listening. So, how do we actually do like this collaboration on GitHub? And that's the main thing we use is called a pull request. So a pull request is when you want to make changes to someone else's repo, which is known as a project. You'll hear repository or repo. That just means project. And in a pull request, you're requesting for the original owner of that project / repo to pull or accept your changes into their repository. So if you take the robot, for example, someone draws a robot. I want to add a toaster feature to the robot. Rather than me just going and doing it by myself, I create a pull request and request them and ask them, can you pull my toaster into your robot? And that allows for them to approve or not. Like they can decide, as they own the repository, they can decide if they want this stupid toaster in the robot. And if they say no, then I have to go back and prove to them why they should be in the robot. Okay, so there's one other thing that you need to know. If this is confusing, don't worry about it. You'll figure it out over the course of this workshop. It's not too complicated, but it's a fork. So a fork is when you make a copy of someone else's repository. Again, that's a project. If you don't want to try to figure it out yourself, there's a video here to describe how to contribute to a project using a fork and then a pull request. don't worry about this link. I will post it in the Discord, and it also be in the GitHub as well. So we'll get to that later. But pull request is a request for some changes to their project. A fork is when you copy someone else's project and you make a copy of it for yourself. And we'll see why that's useful. Okay, so tonight's project is part of Hacktoberfest. And if you don't know what Hacktoberfest, it is a October-long event promoting pull requests, open source software through pull requests. And if you would like to participate in it, let me just switch the screen here. Not the robots. Go to this link and sign up. I will post this in the chat here. And go here. Okay, put it in the Discord as well. So sign up there. You need a GitHub account to do it. And what you get is if you support an open source project, and you can pick up a limited edition t-shirt, or you can plant a tree if you don't want a t-shirt, because sometimes you get too many t-shirts. And I believe I've set it up so that our repository will work. So please sign up for that if you want to get a cool t-shirt and contribute to the projects. Okay, so back over here. Boom. Tonight, what we're doing, we are contributing to an open source Coffee and Code community site. So let's go to this link. No, that's not what I want. All right, go to the link. We at Coffee and Code have made a repository at this link. I believe it's, yeah, that works. Okay, let me just paste it into the chat. So please join here. This is the link to contribute. There it is. And this should take you to here. And this is GitHub. So if you haven't seen GitHub before, this is what it looks like. This is the project. These are all the files. And then every project should have a README, and that just describes the project. So it's kind of confusing. You have to scroll down before you read anything useful. This is the UW Coffee and Code collab site. Website created by all the members as a collaboration project. And it's actually hosted. So if you click this link, you can go to it, and it looks terrible because we need your help to make it look better. And you can go see our 2020 version of the site. It's got still looks equally as bad, but it's got some other stuff in here. So that's our goal today, is to contribute to this. Now I'm going to quickly cover how to actually make a pull request, but if you already kind of know what to do, you can just go for it. And if you want to watch a video, if you miss what I'm saying, here's a tutorial. It's the video I had earlier. I will post it here. And it's also in this README here, tutorial for PR. And please give that a shot. And so today, I don't want you to just make a trivial pull request though, because you can, like, for example, if you want to, rather than, like, the robot toaster thing, you don't want to add a toaster to this site. You want to just add like another word. You add the word like, and you put like the word the there for no reason. You can technically ask me to add that to the website via pull request, but it's not going to be meaningful, and it's not a real pull request because you have to add something significant. So please try to add like an image or something. If you don't feel comfortable, like, add something simple like an image. But I would like to challenge you by doing this. Hide a link to an existing open source project on the page. So put a link to some existing open source project and then try to hide it. So for example, hiding it would mean, like, this isn't hiding it because I can see it's a link. It's all like at the purple or blue text. You'd hide it like it's like the same color as the background picture down here. And if you click it, it goes to the website. So that is the activity. Contribute to the site. I'm going to type it out here. Contribute to the collab site by hiding a link to an existing open source project on the page, and then via pull request. Okay, that is in the chat. Sorry, I just bumped my mic. Okay, and if you want to know how to actually do that, you can follow the video, or I'll show you right now. So how it works to make a pull request. you got to first fork it. So this is what I was saying. You got to copy the project, and that's because you can't make changes. Like you guys can't make changes to this project because I own it and I haven't given you permission. However, I have given people permission to take copies of it. So you can take a copy of it. Once you make a fork, I actually need to switch over to Chrome because I'm not logged in on here. There we go. Once you fork it, I will click fork. Where should we fork it? This is my account. And I'll do this cool little fork copy thing. Okay, this is really important. You are now in your account. If you look at the URL, this is my username rather than UW Coffee and Code's account. You can see it says fork from here. So I've copied the project, made an exact copy of it. Now I can make changes to this version of the project because it's not owned by Coffee and Code. Okay, so if I make a change, let's go to index.html. I can edit directly in here. I can click on the file, click the pencil, and I can do my stupid trivial change. Here, some words, and whenever you make a change to a file, you have to commit the change, which means adding a message describing what it is. That's because we need to keep track, like I said, about going back, keeping track of all the files, version control stuff. This is how you keep track. Okay, commit directly to master branch. If you're new to all this, we'll just stick with all the defaults all the way through. I'm going to commit the change. The change has been committed. And now we're going to make the pull request. So I've made a change, and I want the owner to take the pull request. And thankfully, it actually pops up here. It says this branch is one commit ahead of the UW Coffee and Code master. Create a pull request. You can just click that, and it's asking, okay, where do you want to pull? We want to go into the UW Coffee and Code master branch, and we're taking it from my Robert GH master branch, Coffee and Code repository. And I can create a pull request, and you can see here update index.html, and if I click create here, it will show up. Actually, I'll just do it as an example. So I'll create the pull request, and I'll head over here. So now on the actual project, if I refresh the page, we go to pull request, and there it is. My account has requested to make this change. This is a really bad pull request because I didn't do anything significant, which you should do, and then it's also missing a description. So make sure you include that kind of stuff. So give it a shot. I know I've kind of gone through it really, really quickly. That's because I want you to just try it out. If you get stuck, the whole point is to try it, get stuck, ask a question. And if you get stuck, just type in the chat, Discord or the YouTube chat, and then I'll come over and give you a hand. And if you want to go through the whole process again, there's a video. They go in a little more detail about all of this stuff. And I hope to see some additions to the website. And one last thing, to successfully enter for the t-shirt, I believe you need to do 4 pull requests. Yes, 4 valid pull requests between October 1st and 31st. So you need to, you got to get busy. You got to start adding stuff, and they all have to be valid. I'm not gonna approve pull requests that are just 2 lines of HTML that you added that don't do anything. So please give it your best shot. Let me just switch back to this slide. You're gonna be working on the community site. If you're confused, ask a question, and I will see you. We'll give it like 20 minutes. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to be hopping around the Discord. Okay. Good luck. Have fun. Okay, so we have, oops, the first change, first pull request came through. It's pretty small. It didn't actually fit the requirements of the challenge. That's okay. Someone has amazingly added bootstrapped. Oh, there's more here. 2 minutes ago. Okay, perfect. I will add those in a second for the people who added those. Um, Bootstrap is a library that makes things look better, and it does actually make things. I mean, the title's white and you can't see it anymore, so maybe that's a design flaw. So hopefully someone can fix that. Um, okay, one person requested a question, and it is how do you actually see the changes? And so the simplest way to do that, like see the changes before you implement them, the simplest way to do that is to download the repository. I will after the workshop, if you want to know how to do it in a little better way, I'll show you how to do that. But this is just the intro to GitHub. So if you just download the whole thing as a zip, you click here, and then you can actually just double click the HTML file and view it. That's how you do that. Yeah, so I will go with the last thing here. So questions or anything, just send me an email, add me on Discord. Please tell us how we did. That's kind of like the end of it, but I'll be hanging on the Discord for the people who are still here. Like, well, I'll come over there and help you make sure your PRs get through, and then if we want to do any advanced stuff, we will absolutely do that. But thank you for participating, and I hope you guys can continue doing pull requests. Where is it? Yeah, and get the full Hacktoberfest T-shirt. That'd be very, very cool. I will approve these ones wherever they went in just a second. But if you have questions, shoot me a message, and I hope to see you at the next workshop. So thank you.